Hello programmers, welcome to Tech Nugget channel. This channel is dedicated to programming short recipes, something like nuggets. Due to the nature of recipe, it becomes patty. I can't help it. However, I can guarantee you that this nugget or patty will be tasty. Generally, fast API server is meant to be pure API server. However, we can add skin to that APIs by using Jinja template. On top of that, we can beautify that skin with the Bootstrap. That will be amazing. Yes, that's what I'm going to show you today. You may ask what may be the use case for this scenario. Sometimes API server needs to have an integrated UI, and this will be suitable for small to medium projects. If it's a large to complex project, I would recommend to use UI framework something like AngularJS. Today's recipe can be qualified as a multi-tiered mini project. It's got all attribute to be qualified as a multi-tier mini project. For example, it's got a decent UI layer, and it's got a API layer, and also it's got a MongoDB database. That's a DB layer. This video is part of this video is part 3 of my fast server fast API server framework series. I have covered the basics and MongoDB CRUD operations in my previous videos. Please check out those videos. Let's do a quick recap. FastAPI Server is one of the modern high-performing Python web framework, and its performance is comparable with Go on Node.js. And this framework comes with modern amenities like async support, WebSocket, and GraphQL, and many more. So what's Jinja template? Jinja template is a server-side template, which is basically a collection of HTML tags with runtime variables which will be replaced during runtime. And what's Bootstrap? You may know Bootstrap is a well-known popular CSS library which is mostly used across many of the projects today. I'm not going to cover Bootstrap from ground up. However, I will touch upon the components which I had used for this demo during the code walkthrough. For this project, I'm going to build a fish collection application with CRUD operations. Most of these web applications revolves around these principle of CRUD, right? So let's do that. So what are the softwares required for this? You can see from the screen that's Python 3.6 plus, that's a native install, or MongoDB 4.4.6, that's also native install. And Bootstrap can be pointed to CDN, or you can download it and use it locally. For this project, I have downloaded locally. I'm using it. And Fast API, UV icon, Pydantic, PyMongo, Jinja2, all this can be installed as pip install. Okay, let's dive in. Just allow me to switch my screen. I'll do the quick UI walkthrough as a end user. Of course, it's not showing because I have not started the server. Let's start the server. The server is started. It should be coming up. Okay, yeah, voila, you got the first page. This is a welcome page where you greeted with welcome as a fish collection and with nice fish pictures as a carousel. So what does it say? Welcome to Goldfish Collections. Here you can find and explore exotic collection of goldfish across the world. Click here to see the click here is will take you to the list page. However, I want to make a disclaimer here. The information which you find here, I've taken from Wikipedia. The pictures as well, the short description about this fish also I've taken from Wikipedia. Let's dive in. Okay, so this is your list page, list view of the application, which contains the ID, name, image, and description. So as I was saying, CRUD. I can define all this in the single page. For example, I would like to view the goldfish. It's a list view, but I want to take a closer look at what exactly is this. Click on this. You see that the picture is with a separate view. Here I've used, as I was saying, the component which I used. Here is a card view with the picture and the description. I can go back to list. That's a view, right? And I have edit, I have delete and new. So this covers all of my CRUD in single page. Now, for example, let me take a create new page. So you are greeted with the fields which is required for creating a new fish. For example, let's go back to the list. I've got 5 fishes. I want to create a new fish. It's a veranda. Let's create that. No, let's have 6. Fish name is veranda. Um, veranda dot jpg. The fish image, I will explain to you how I set up once I go to the code. And the fish description, something which I have taken it from Wikipedia. I just taken it, just I paste it here. I don't want to type. It's done. So say submit. You will find that there are 6 fish added. That's veranda, and with a nice picture with the description. Right now, let's dive into the code. How I've done this. Okay. So the first challenge, first challenge which we have it in, especially the template, Jinja templates is setting up that, right. So if you see my screen, um, just let me go to the top. You have to come. Your directory structure. You look at it. This is a root directory, and you have 2 directories. One is called static, and the other one is called template. The static contains CSS, images, and JS file. So any of the static resource that can go into this. So here, as I was saying, I have bootstrap.css, bootstrap min CSS, and images. So as I was saying, the fish which I added veranda, I have a veranda.jpg. Basically, I'm referring this. This image is collected from Wikipedia, and I've got a supporting bootstrap JS from here. This is a static folder, and then I have a templates folder. This is where all my HTML code goes into. Let's see the setup, right. For example, how I am referring my static files. So you go here, your basic imports what we have. The major import what is required in this one is HTML response, static files, Jinja2 template. Some of them form and cookie, but cookie I have not used. Forms I have used it. Okay, let's see here. So how I'm referring the static and template. For example, app.mount static and static files. I'm going to mention static folder. So any of the static resource I will refer as a /static. And for the templates, I'll say template initialize with Jinja2 templates as a directory templates. That's a templates folder. Okay. So the page which you have seen, let's go back here, right. That's your welcome page, the carousel page which got, right. So this is the page which I have talked about. That's a welcome page. It's a root. What I'm having here is the output response will be HTML response, the input is request. So I say index.html, I am following the request. Return templates.template response index.html, and request is request. The request, why it's required is you have to have this in order to pass any of those request parameters. It's it's becoming like a mandatory. So if you take a look at index.html, I've opened it already. Don't get alarmed with such a huge HTML. Don't worry about it. These are all just a static code, as I was saying, and I'll explain to you. Don't get scared of this. So number one, you have to refer your bootstrap.css. That's URL static. Then path will be static slash. If you remember, I have CSS inside here. So static slash CSS bootstrap.css, and also bootstrap min.js I've used with this. I have not used any bootstrap min specific one. However, the carousel should use that. Okay. Now, the component which I was talking about was the carousel. What I have created as a fish carousel, and there were three tabs in it, and with those three images. It's a random image which I'm taking from static. Same, right? So now if you look at here, either you can select this way or this way or this way. um, this is one good feature, right? One good feature in Bootstrap. Most of the e-commerce site uses as a welcome page. Mostly you will find this product new products display page. This can be expanded to other ideas too. Now let's go to view page. Now let's see the code on the view side. So here, some of this code has one is a UI, other one is backing process API. For example, here, read one item. Let's forget that. That will go to the next. That's a read view. Read all. What we have. This is what we do slash fish. That's after root. If you see here, this is the folder, right? I mean, this is the route what we are using it. So what I'm doing is I am collecting from um, it's basically it is taking data and it's collecting from MongoDB, and it's pointing to listfish.html. As I was saying, I am passing request and I am passing the result of all the fishes. So if you go to list, uh, let's so list fish. Okay, so this is all our HTML decorator. You don't have to worry about it. This is common. And the main thing what you have to see is how are we using this. There are two curly braces. For example, here I'm creating a table. If you look at here, this is a table, this is a header, these are all each one is a row. It's a hover row. When you hover it, it shows that. Okay. So if we come here, um, that's a first TD, right? What I'm talking about, this ID, which is going to take me to view of fish. That is basically another URL. It'll with the passing with the ID. So you go back to this. The result list is a fish list is an object which I am passing. So the list item here, you look at here. This is a iteration of the list. This is a fish list in fish, and I'm going to iterate every fish, and I want to create that entire table. So how it's been done, the image which I was entering, the image name basically refers from here. Ideally it is mapped with the fish name. So I'm just putting a fish image and I'm giving the proper size. Then you have a fish ID. Then you no you have a edit and you have a delete. For example, here you have edit and delete. So let's edit this veranda which we had it. In this field, if you see here edit fish ID, and the ID is just for me, I we wanted to use it as a identifier, something which we can remember. So I made it read only field, you can't change. These are all read only, you can't change it. If you want, we can make it enable. So right now, just to for this purpose, see, we'll make it as a veranda 1, something just you added. You should see that veranda 1 appearing here. And also, for example, it says edit fish, right? It's called edit fish. So if I would like to add how I have done that edit fish, this h1 edit fish, that's what the header what you have seen. And then I am also, let's go to edit UI first. So the edit UI, what it takes, it takes a fish ID and it finds a ID, a fish ID, fish from the MongoDB, and it renders to edit fish HTML. When you go to edit fish HTML, again, as I was saying earlier, that in the request you will have fish object for you to use it. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a form control with fish start. I'm populating with the value, I'm making it read only. Whichever I want to enable it, I'm just keeping it as enable. So what I wanted to show you with the runtime, for example, I would like to say edit fish. Let's add a fish name. Okay, so I just saved it. Let's go back and say edit fish veranda. Ideally, you should see veranda 1. So let's edit back to veranda. It became veranda and say edit. You're done. Okay. So let's do veranda 2. It's fine. Anything is okay. Now let's go back. Let's take a look at create. So edit is basically you are pre-populating with the existing uh, detail, and create is a new, right? Anyway, it's a blank field. Let's see how does it looks. So create UI, as I was saying, this new fish HTML. If you look at new fish HTML, it's a plain HTML with form fields. The one thing which you have to be very careful where you will get stuck when you are naming these fields. It's very important, ID and name. Keep this name, and you have to have these names. For example, here how I structured one is a create fish UI is just its forwarding to the UI. However, uh, in that, it if you look at this action, I'm taking action to create. The create, if you look at, that's a process page for create UI. So inside that, I need a request again, or output as a response. And the tricky part, how do you read your form variables, the post variables, right? So this is how I do. This fish ID is a string, but it's a form variable. So this name should match with this HTML what you are using it here within the form name of the fields. So it is not looking at ID, actually it is looking at the name of these fields. So it's very important to keep these names exactly as what you are going to read here. Once we have it, so what I'm doing, once I read this, I am constructing, as you look at the opening presentation, there's a pydantic model which basically transfers your data from HTML to FastAPI. Okay, now let's go back. So I'm creating a fish model. The fish model is basically this one. It's extending a base model, and it's got a fish ID, fish name, fish image, fish description. Image is a string. I'm just using a static path. If you somebody wants, they can create as a byte stream and you can load it, but I'm not doing that. And also, these are the MongoDB collection which I'm using. One is a it's a local instance, and it's petsdb, and the collection name is fish. All right, let's where we were create, right? Okay, let's do the create one. So once I construct the fish model, I'm just string it, then I'm saying insert one, Mongo fish collection dot insert one, and inserted id I'm giving this. So if you look at here, then after that what I'm doing, I am forwarding this to fish collection, because I don't want, in fact, if you want to, you can say that fish is created, go back to list page, but I don't want to have that intermediate page. Just I'm taking you to directly to the list page. That is what this does. Before that, I am doing a finding a collection, passing the collection back to that, so that it is, after you create a new fish, it directly goes there. It shows in the page. Okay. Now, uh, what is left is delete, right? So delete is, I wanted to keep it a little different. Um, I don't have a separate UI for it. It's only the process I have it. I can show you that. Before I go there, the edit one, I have a very different model. Edit as a UI. That's what you have seen here. For example, this page is edit page. Now I go back. I am bringing these fields into update fish as another method, and I am not updating directly here. Sometimes what happens, if you want to have much more control, you can pass this to the actual API method, another API method, and you can do that. For example, I'm doing it here and calling, and again this is, it span across three methods. So this is another way of achieving this. If it's a complex form fields, if you want to do a lot of validations, so better to have a API separate. And UI, I mean, it's, this is separate concerns, right? You keep this UI separate, API separate, validation separate. That's also, it's another better practice. It's a best practice what to do. Okay, let's go back to delete thing, right? I'm not done. Let's go back here. So I would like to delete this veranda folder or fish. I click on delete. You are done. It's a, you click, you are done. Ideal scenario, you will not be deleting anything, something like this, because you will have a confirmation box, then you will delete. But just to, that can be added for this added, just to show, I'm just adding it. However, what happened in the backend, you will see that you would have seen it's deleted. Delete fish method called. Okay. So this is what I would like to, I wanted to show you today. Feel free to comment or like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. And this project source code available in Git. That's my Git repo, which is highlighted in the screen. It's github.com slash kumark99 slash fastapi slash underscore crud underscore u underscore jinja2.git. Please feel free to download and use it. Thank you again.